Alright, y'all. My phone overheated, so I had to come in the house so I could record my videos. I was going off too. I probably lost that live because it just cut. That's alright. We don't figure it out. That's what we're all here to do. We're all here to figure it out. And it's not for us to judge any level that someone is on. Is this filter back on my face? Or is this just how my face looks? Is it because I'm overheated? Like, please leave the room.
I just gotta get my...
No, you have absolutely no reason to be in this room. Please go. Yeah, all of my children are codependent. We came to that realization while I was dropping a doy off. I'm trying to see if I do have a filter on, how I can get the filter off, but that is a filter. Look, it's glitching, but I don't know how to turn it off. Anything that comes in the room, just put it by the door. Don't open that door again, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Like, even when I tell them not to do something, they'll choose their version of defiance. And, well, if I'm being helpful, then I could violate her restriction. So it's going into this space of, I don't care why. Do what I told you. Excuse me. Do what I told you to do. And kids don't want to do that. What does this thing say? Oh, that's a subscription. How do I enhance? Maybe that's it. Okay, we might have something. Let's hit effects, because I think that's what's going on here. Let's play with some since we're here. Show him. I don't even know. I don't want to say nothing culturally offensive, but yes, take that, take that. Ooh, I can't say that either. Let's see what we got here. Boom, shakalaka. Got #1 cheek rocker, #1 cheek rocker. My cheeks look diseased though. Like, this kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies. Heebie-jeebies, heebie-jeebies. My name is Oinkman. I got the heebie-jeebies. See, I'm practicing my breath control, 'cause when I get on stage, I gotta hold them notes. Heebie-jeebies, heebie-jeebies. Whew. Heebie-jeebies, heebie-jeebies. Whew, shoot. That did something to me. I'm showing my face now, baby. Boom. That's her. She. I wanted to put that, you know, she, her, whatever, the Meg Thee Stallion song. You know, I went to, there's probably a point in my time where I would want to look this porcelain, but I've grown to like my scars. Probably not in the Golden Coast, but, yeah, I was making a video and I wanted to, Gentle Glow by TikTok. I don't know. And I wanted to put, say yes, no, maybe. Yes, no, maybe. Yes, no, maybe so. Oh, Britney Spears was a Marilyn Monroe knockoff. I get it from the appearance. You said no? No! Well, then who? Who am I talking to? Am I talking to Marilyn Monroe? See? Don't be shy now. Anyway, I really wanted to make the point that I had before, but I forgot. I forgot. The filter made me forget. You gotta understand that there's distractions to make you forget what you were focused on. I bet you're focused on no fun. Is that a ram? Because I'm a ram. Go Aries. Go Aries. You're probably focused on the ram, but you need to be focused on the message. Because I'm over here spitting hot fire like a ram in the bush. You better pop your stuff. Let it alone. You better pop your stuff. But let me tell you something, since I'm a old wise ram here on this TikTok. Don't believe everything that's in front of you. Reality is not real. Every story is not to be taken literally. Do you think I literally was standing there like, pick me? I am not a pick me. Do you see me? they picks me. So if you really want to believe that I was sitting in that bush, sitting there watching that man about to do to his child what he does to animals, I want you to hear me when I say that. Do to his child what they do to animals. In a term that recently came to my awareness, you know, because I literally do live under a rock. What came to me? I look old, so we just gonna blame it on old age real quick. Hold on, let me figure out what came to me, what recently came to me. What was he talking about? Believing what's in front of your eyes. Don't believe everything that's in front of you. Do you really believe that I was sitting there waiting to be slaughtered? A term that recently came to my field of awareness was chattel slavery. Have y'all heard of chattel slavery? Something like a chattel spells like a cattle. What do we do to cattle, y'all? I don't know nothing about that because I am a glorious ram, but from what I hear, they are slaughtered. So then we look at they didn't treating, I don't remember, oh yeah. I'm sitting there in the bush and I'm watching this man treat his child like he would an animal. Wild animal! And then I look at my people today, you know, the descendants of Abraham. Yeah, I'm looking at y'all. Like, yeah, I took my glasses down for you because that's the way I'm looking at y'all. You do understand that when the cloud behind me is moving, that's some beautiful technology. But also you guys understand that y'all never stop treating your children like animals. Especially if you understand that you were bred by being treated like an animal. So I hope you guys weren't distracted by the fact that I am a glorious ram. Not to be confused with the one in the bush. Y'all have a good day. All right, let's see what this one do. What it do? It's just this dark look. Dark wing duck. Let's get serious. Word on the curb is there's a Mandela effect thingy where, like, let's think about what a Mandela. I don't want to solve a Mandela effect right now. That's going to take too much brain energy. But apparently there's a Mandela effect. I think Carmen Sandiego has red on, but I remember the yellow because she was mimicked off of Murphy Brown. There's a TV female that wore the yellow coat. And I remember when Carmen Sandiego came out, she had her knockoff version. And this was back when there was, you either like Biggie or you like Pac. You can't like both, you know. And so, like, we used to have arguments. Biggie, no Pac. No Biggie, no Pac. Like, they both go off in their own way. Why do I only have to be in one lane? Lord Jesus, here it comes. I forgot. I'll remember. Oh yeah, I don't want a Mandela effect. Carmen Sandiego, when she came on the cuff, I was like, she is mocking or her cheap version. But that was before I realized that all they do is like repackage, because they can't completely alter our brains. It's a slow, that's alteration. You know, that's why it's taking you guys some time to warm up to me. Because I am such a huge leap, depending on where you are in your journey, that for you to comprehend what I'm saying, it'll shatter your reality. And our goal here isn't to shatter realities. Our goal is to slowly wake you up to understand that it's been a shim the whole time. And, you know, conspiracy theorists, far this way, far that way, anyone who has extreme ideologies to the point that they're willing to be disruptors about it. But if we actually look at the fruit of the disruption, we'll realize that, yeah, they're really, really loud. They're really loud. But aside from awareness of being aware, what have they really done? What changes have they made? If you think about your favorite activists and you're just like, and you're like, thank you. Thank you for everything that you do for the community. Thank you for the wisdom that you share. Thank you for the knowledge that you get on here and you give freely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You notice that all those people can spout a lot of other people's facts. They have their rhetoric in there as well, which is cool. They got to get their quotables too. But pay attention to these elite thinkers that you guys place on a pedestal. They say, you know, Dr. So-and-so says, according to such and such, the scientific study says, like, they're impressing you with their ability to acquire knowledge. Because who is really sitting around memorizing the stuff that these doctors is out here memorizing? Like, I don't have time. I know I tried to join a sorority and they were like, you got to remember all the information about the founders. Now, I'm not saying there was one founder. I'm not going to say there was X amount. I don't know, because I might accidentally say a number. I'm playing with filters, y'all. I might accidentally say a number and then you guys are like, oh, she's talking about us. I don't know nothing about nothing. I just know it is very difficult for me to remember facts because they're unimportant. And they're not unimportant in the respect that I need to know who sacrificed for me. But I don't just need to know their name. I need to know what they gave for me. Because once I actually feel, do you understand? If you truly felt what someone gave for you, why is Martin Luther King so powerful enough for you to alter your life, but your friend or your brother or sister or parent or aunt or uncle, grandma, whoever, isn't powerful enough in your life to alter your life? How is someone outside of you more powerful to help you alter your life than it is for someone within your ranks? There's failure on both sides. And which one of y'all's thought leaders out here is teaching y'all that? They just caught in this trap right along with you. What did I do? What did I do? I'm looking a little rosy, a little peachy. Is that what the filter does? What did I do? How do I make it big again? Do they have a Mr. Bean one? They have so many, like, Caucasian girl filters. I don't know which filter I've already pressed because they're all the Caucasian girl. No disrespect. It's just, it's a white face and then another white face. And was the last one brown hair or blonde hair? Was it her full face or her little face? If you guys diversified the filters, maybe that's some feedback for you. If you guys diversified the filters, maybe the less popular ones might get some play. Right? I know you guys want to run off with the best idea, right? You just want, it's gonna make me the most money. Let's bleed these motherfuckers dry. I know that's what you're out here to do. But understand, you could get more bees with honey. How do you do that? That's mind-boggling for you because you only know how to take advantage of people. But understand that you could crack some really good deals with people by just being on the up and up and say, look, I need something from you. You need something from me. I need your showmanship because you, my friend, are a gem. Nah. But Spirit's telling me to go through this version. I want to bleed you dry. I see you're a beautiful young talent. I see that you're ambitious, and I know in that ambition you were willing to do anything for this opportunity that I stand for. And because at this point in my career, I am heartless. Yes, that heart of stone they speak about in Ezekiel 26, 36, 36, 26, 36. Only if she's 5'3". I don't know the actual, somewhere in there. The heart of stone is real. So you have to understand, you know, I had a heart when I first got in this industry. But in order for me to survive and thrive, because I'm done surviving, you understand that there's poverty. That's the poverty that you guys are used to. That's the poverty you're running from. But you have to understand at an elite level, There's a poverty that I'm still running from. I thought once I got some money, I could stop running. I did. It was a lie. Because onefold, there's a level of poverty at each tier that you reach. They're never going to let you reach them because you're still poor compared to the poorest one of them. And the promise of becoming one of them is so enticing that you're just like, well, I only believe that this is wrong because I've been told it's wrong and it's disgusting. That's the only reason why I believe that it's wrong. But is it really wrong? Especially with my girlfriend. Can I keep it real? I told one of my friend's moms, I was just like, you need to make sure that I told one of my mom friends, I was like, you need to make sure that your child has opposite sex friends, because when they get to having their experimental phases and they're like, I wonder what it's like to kiss, I wonder what it's like to grope somebody, be groped or felt up, you know. If your child is unable to be around the gender that they're attracted to, we're speaking from a heterosexual space, not an exclusion space. Just speaking from most parents, until their child identifies, assumes that their child is attracted to the opposite gender. So that is the perspective that I'm speaking from. We all go through the experimental phase, and when we all go through the experimental phase, I know as a little girl, I've kissed girls. I know as a little girl, I've done more than kiss girls. You know, I grew up in the 80s, so I'm sure what the more than kiss girls is way different in 2024. So whatever you can imagine, dial that back to the 80s. We ain't even touching what these children are doing right now, and I should not say that laughingly. Sexy as a man. Boom. Even with the forehead. That adds to the allure, the appeal. Because I think this is supposed to be a woman, but she's very androgynous, manly. She's turning me on. Dang. Anyway. Yeah, make sure that your children have opposite gender friends. So that when they do hit that, isn't that something that I look like a man wearing lipstick while I'm having this conversation? Because when your child reaches, when your child reaches that age where they want to experiment, honey, you don't want your child experimenting with me. 8-year-old me was nothing nice. So what I'm saying is you experimented, right? I experimented with my hand. The first time I wanted to smoke, I went and lit a piece of paper and inhaled the smoke from a piece of paper. You know, my lungs, no wonder I got asthma. Yeah, like when I wanted to experiment. Chalk. People sniff chalk, really? Do you understand that some of your children have been exposed to that? My child, because the person that we were staying with had an addiction that I was unaware of. And later on in life, Adoy came to me and she said, yeah, I found so-and-so's white powder and I sniffed it. So my child, before she was in double digits, experienced some things she shouldn't have experienced because the adults around her, you know, didn't give a fuck. Your wants above everybody, right? So like, I think I could pull this off. Like, I'm kind of swaggy with it. I need to take a picture because I look like one of Adoy's friends right now. It's 4:44. There's some in this house. Yeah, so anyway. Why did I hop on here? Well, I hopped on here because we were talking about codependency, and you're supposed to have codependent children, and you're supposed to be codependent with your children. It's because you want your children to be so attached to you that you can feel them. You know, they want to cut the cord immediately. They want us to believe that the cord is only the physical cord. No, there's an energetic cord between you and your children. I know I feel my children. I know I feel my children because when they cry and I see their tears, I know that I can read those tears. I recognize those tears. We have to understand that all tears aren't all the same tears, and when we respond to all tears the same, now our kids learn how to manipulate us. But if we actually can read the energy of the tears, now we can, know when they're pulling our leg because they're trying to get our way, and when there's really something going on. Oh, hold up. I get high. Oh, that's why I got on here, y'all. I was listening to Styles P. I get high. High of your memory. Oh, because I told Adoy that I was going to help her kick her addiction to THC. The smoke. Are we having fun or no? Anyway, and I helped her kick her addiction, but we have to understand that in kicking the addiction, you're not necessarily no longer partaking in the substance. It's what you really needed to do was to gain some self-control. What the hell is on? What am I doing? Okay, I quit. We have to understand that this addictive behavior, you want to solve addiction, let's solve addiction. Addictive behavior is rooted in poverty. That's why they started the things that are addictive in the impoverished areas. Gluttony. Okay, so gluttonous, but they have different things that they want more of. Yes, they're also gluttonous, but what they want more of is completely different than what we want more of. We just want more oxygen. We just want more, just to be able to live. They're not trying to live. They're trading lives. They want to have more control over lives. Livestock. Understand, they want control over more livestock. You're still chattel. Ain't nothing changed but the day it is. And even when you wake up within it, it is up to those who are awake to support you, because they will block you. But he who is within me is greater than he who is in with the world. Like, that's never been more powerful than it is right now. He who is in with me is greater than he who is in the world, because there's a clear energetic war going on right now. I can't do the other side. Hunka burn and love. There is spiritual warfare going on right now, and we just need to wake up to it. So, but we also have to understand that greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Ain't it funny I turned into an eagle? When that little bop came on, go off. Yes. Because I'm a star. I'm a real star. I'm not a distraction. I'm the real deal. Fresh out the solar system. Oh yeah, we're solving addiction. So addiction is a manifestation of poverty. Lack mentality. More. There's not enough. There's always more. So why is there a fear of not enough? I don't have enough money. I don't have enough resources to get the more, because the supply is always there unless there's a drought, which drives up the price. They create a sense of urgency within you. to make you do anything to get that feeling again. Because they keep you at such a depressed state that they can introduce a false way to enter your natural state. Because how we feel, I've never done anything beyond the smoke, but I can imagine this is what it feels like. I don't know. So I can imagine if this is what it feels like, I can see how you're trapped in addiction, because who wouldn't want to feel like this all the time? Let's be honest. We are too fearful of what addiction will cause to be willing to allow ourselves to feel this. Some of us don't even believe this is possible. That's the people like, I could do it and ain't nothing gonna happen. See, I could drink 20, so I ain't gonna be dry. And understand, alcohol induced, not even comparable. I don't know about other alcohol induced, not even comparable. I don't know about other alcohol induced, not even comparable. I don't know about other alcohol induced, not even comparable. I don't know about other, alright, I don't know if that pause, it usually pauses. Anyway, you know, I don't know what any of that stuff feels like, but the things that you guys are willing to do to get your hands on that, I would say that it's something close to this. Because in my enlightened space, I'll keep that revelation to myself because I do not want to enable anything or anyone. But I will say, from my enlightened space, when I do partake, like, it's like nothing I've ever experienced. But I also have developed a space of self-control because I felt like I was developing a habit around the same time Adoy was like, I'm ready to kick the habit. She definitely has partaked longer than I have. Me, through consumption, and her through smoke. So we're both seeking the same altered state. And I think in order to hit this altered state, because when I talk to other people, y'all be taking y'all's Styles P every day. I get every night I get that's why I got on here. Have y'all listened to those lyrics? Like, they put that thing to a cold beat, and he is just talking about, I spend an entire day destroying my life unless I'm just completely incoherent. And we were like, yes, Styles P, get your first solo hit. We had no idea what we were being a part of. We are part of this man talking about he is going to destroy everything unless he smokes 2 a day. It's like, wow, it's wow, the brainwashing. Anyway, so what was I talking about? Styles P, Adoy, helping her kick her habit. Okay, so you know, we had a couple of talks. I don't remember the specifications of the talk, but you have to understand, we're out here to get free advice. Is going to be generalized. If you truly want me to help you kick your addiction, you're going to have to pay for my coaching services so that I can actually talk to you and find out why you choose to go through life in an altered state. And then we can figure that out and heal your world, make it a better place. Stop dumping your money into eternal waste. Yeah, there's people dying, chasing a connection that we naturally came to this earth having. And if I, in my altered state, because I'm definitely not fully awake, every time I reach a new level, I'm like, whoa, I didn't know this was possible. Hey. So I know I'm still in an altered state. and how good I feel when I'm able to access higher consciousness in my altered state. So I believe what I am able to access in an altered state is what's possible at my current altered state. Because I remember, like, when I never partook and Dre would talk me into something, and I would be like, just going into the space of remembering, ooh, that's not gonna do good for me in my dreams. Remembering like random facts from school. No, yes, maybe so. Boom, with the be right back with the boom and a sandwich. Okay. Yeah, all jokes aside, this is what our computers used to look like. How do I get that off my screen? Do I exit off? How I just gotta get up off of it. Anyway, tap the screen. So we just have to pay attention to the fact, okay, boom, that's what's, there it goes. We just all have to pay attention to the fact that most of us have to experience the lives that we've created for ourselves. Let's not play victim. The lives that we've created for ourselves, we have to go through in an altered state. And we just have to be able to acknowledge that for ourselves so that we can move forward. You know, and so with Adoy, breaking news, I helped her I helped Adoy kick her addiction. I can help you kick yours too. Yes, she came to me and she said, Mom, I don't like that I'm addicted to the smoke. And I said, sis, I don't like that I'm addicted to the gummies. So let's break this. So at the end of July, at Dre's birthday party, we both, you know, had the ends of our experience, and we have not partaken until, I'm gonna keep it G. I found one. I found a hard one in a bag in a corner, and I was like, ah! And so, you know, I did that one, but I was just like, let me see what it was that had me. Now that I haven't been in an altered state since July, August, the end of September, let me see what it was that I was after. And so when I entered that altered state, I was like, this is really worth chasing. Like, y'all probably think I'm joking, but I be so serious when I say I pop my head through the clouds and I'm sitting next to God like, yo, what's good, G? Real talk. Like, that's how, ask me anything and I can answer it. Like, that's how close to God I am right now. And so, if I know that that's possible, can I find a way to responsibly access that? So now we're looking at addiction and how when we do access it, it takes us to an altered state that we would rather experience than the state that we presently live in. So first we have to identify that the state that we would prefer to be in is other than the state that we presently exist in. In the background, I don't know what that means. It must be a continuation of a question. Oh, I told a joke. So my family has me, well, they don't have me doing anything because there's two different conversations, right? The first conversation is they don't take putting a video together like I take putting a video together. Like, it's a production for me. Like, don't involve me unless we top tier. I'm a director looking ass. Okay? And I wasn't even going to participate, but someone said, I don't really have any skills with video making. I'm not that creative. Lonnie. And I was like, oh, well, they done said my name, so I guess I have to not pretend like I was just added to a group chat, but let me know when y'all ready to drop me off. You know, so I had to respond, and I was like, yeah, I offered 3 ideas, advanced, mid, low. You know, they could choose. Well, the advanced one in concept was really, really cool. So everybody's like, you know, okay, I so love that Angel is starting to have my taste in music because I can actually jam out with her. Zombies? Yes. Anyway, I'm trying not to get caught up in. Y'all don't feel this music though? I can imagine being in the stadium. That's why y'all gotta be careful. Satan was a musician or something like that. He was gifted in the music, melodic, that, and so I'm just saying, y'all be careful. Like, they could want to speak they spell, but you choose who you praising in the spell state. Anyway, addiction. So you have to find out why you are in the state of addiction. And then after you find out why you're in the state of addiction, now you can start actually tackling the why you're in the state of addiction. And I know I'm not saying anything that no one's ever said. I'm just saying in a way that's going to make sense to the person where it never made sense before. So after you identify why you're chasing addiction to avoid whatever it is, and I mean, you don't need to be ashamed that your life that you created for yourself, unless you're under the age of 18 or in a situation where you have absolutely no control, which I understand that's possible as well. Age doesn't matter, but unless you're in a situation where your life is completely out of your control, then you did this. And so I understand it's completely upsetting to admit to yourself that you created your miserable circumstances. But after you admit to yourself that you created your miserable circumstances, now you can start creating another circumstance. Because after you get done saying, I created this miserable circumstance, you slow down and you say, I created me. I created this. So if I could create this without even trying, what can I create when I try? And then you just have to understand that whatever you're creating once you try is just confirmation you can create. I lost my train of thought. But if whatever you decide, once you realize that you have creative capabilities, you don't create 2 steps ahead. You create, in my case, generations ahead. I'm creating for the existence of the Taylor-Appleton bloodline. Call my ass Abraham. I'm creating from me forward. And from me forward, that means I gotta leave one heck of a legacy. So zombies, zombies, zombies. What's in your head? In your head. Zombies, zombies, zombies. You thought she was just talking about the Holocaust. What's in your head? Your brain. My kids call it what? Brain rot? It's a joke. They're laughing about their brains rotting away. Those are the kids we raise. What's in your head? Zombies. We're The Walking Dead. My husband asked me, why are you watching The Walking Dead again? I don't know. It's something that caught my attention. And then Spirit said, because we are The Walking Dead. And if we could wake up to that, we could stop being the zombies. That's why when the wealthy come around us, they're like, think about how the rich, they don't eat what we eat, they don't drink what we drink, they don't breathe the same air as we breathe. They don't breathe the same air as we breathe. Yeah, they come because they have to come and mingle with society. That's not the wealthy elite I'm talking about. The wealthy elite, it's like that Out of Time with that boy, Justin Timberlake. It's like Out of Time with Justin Timberlake and how they go through casts, and The people who are behind the wall, that's just like, there's some communities built outside the landfill. The air that they breathe is a bit different than the air that we breathe. But that doesn't mean that we don't come down by the landfill every now and then and breathe a little bit of their air. But the wealth that we see at our level, we don't see wealth. That's why they're not even worried about us dreaming about being wealthy. Because we can only conceptualize what we can see. That's why it's imperative when we do read the Bible, we actually are able to conceptualize. As far as your eyes can see, if you could count the blades of grass, if you could count the granules of sand, if you could count the stars in the sky, then you could count your legacy. We don't know what God is capable of, because we've only believed God to be capable of what we've seen, and we understand that we truly don't believe what's possible for others to be possible for us, because if we did, we would pull ourselves up to that, because that is our human right. It is our human right to see, and love does not envy. Love admires. Flip the field. It's not envy, it's admiration. You see something that you like. On the negative, you envy it, you want it. But on the positive, you admire it, you want it. Like, can you tell me a sure thing because somebody told me you got some of the keys, that's how you made it this far. So you know something. I'm not going to tell somebody, I might. So how are we going to do that? How are you going to know how are you going to know who to teach? Because you're going to have some questions. You're going to ask some questions. And based on the questions that you asked, this is how I was able to assess Michael, Kate, and Angel yesterday to figure out if they were in their awakened state. Thank you for the love. I was able to assess Michael, Kate, and Angel yesterday to see if they were in their awakened state because I knew what questions to ask. So when you meet people, you're just like, oh, I wish that I could meet somebody that I could talk to. Talk to them how you speak. Do not dumb yourself down, because if you dumb yourself down, they're going to be able to align with the dumbed down version of you, which makes you happy because not too many people can hang out with the dumbed down version of you. So if you could hang with me at my lowest point, then at least I got somebody to talk to. Like my point right before I go into a space where I know I have yet to meet a human that understands what the fuck I'm talking about. So I'm okay with finding a human that I could go all the way up to this point. And I was happy with that with my husband because at least I could go here with him. I could be 100% me and my authenticity, and he was okay with it. I don't know if he was okay with it, but he allowed it, right? But then when I started seeing that I could push myself a little bit further, and then I found out that I can actually intentionally push myself further, like I can make these ascensions happen, like, sis was out of here. You ain't got to ask me twice. You want to change your life? Fuck, yes. Yes, what do I got to do? Change the way I speak, change the way I think, change the way I eat, This is easy work. I ain't got to go knock on door to door and say, can I tell you about Christ Jesus? I ain't got to do none of that. I just got to be me. And you gonna change my life? Like, yes. Do you understand between making a deal with God and making a deal with the devil? The devil's going to come to you and say, you got to change everything about you and pretend to be someone else. And I'll give you everything you want. Well, I don't like who I am anyway, so sure. So do you understand when you leave your children so depleted that anybody can come to them, and you're so depleted because you got to sign if they're under 18. Y'all are so depleted, which is on purpose. No judgment, just calling a thing so we can wake up. They keep us so depleted so that when Satan comes a knocking and says, yo, love your talent, let's make a deal. You're willing to make any possible deal possible because You're just trying to change your circumstances, but you understand the way that you actually change your circumstances is changing your circumstances. This is your most powerful tool. And I know we've taken that for granted. Your mind is a terrible thing to waste. We've heard it. But when I promise you, my friend, you get this, you get everything. It's like this green screen, how it like starts like disappearing. Like that's what the world is doing as you gain more awareness of what's going on. The green screen falls down. It's freaking wild. But it's also very lonely because many people don't understand me. But I have been blessed to run across people who do understand me. Hello and long time no see. How are you, friend? Just running my mouth. I'm doing great. I'm talking about all kinds. I can't wait to see change in my life. What moves are you making to create change? If you truly feel that way, I want you to take a pen and paper or whatever writing utensils you have. If it's taking notes in your phone. If you can't wait to see change in your life, then you need to say, what change would I like to see in my life? You could do top 3 if you real about that life, or you could do top 10. Give you some more options. Because usually we gonna come with them hard hitters. Boom, boom, boom. That's why we say top 3. You don't get to go to 7 and 10. You real lazy around the number 10. But you got your top 3. Them ones are going to not only change that intention, but all the other intentions. But you gotta go in on yourself. So get you a pen and paper and say, what do I want to see changed in my life? Write it down. And just give it to God. Check back in a week and let me know. I'll give you your next step. You want it all? Pay for a coaching session, my friend. I'll get you real put together. LoneeLifestyle.com. In bio. Yes, write that down. Start digging into yourself. You deserve it. What else you got to do? What else you do with your day? If you're a student, then you go to school. Do you work if you're an adult? Have some kids, you know, do some living, maybe some partying, I don't know, whatever your life is. How much of that time within that life do you invest in you, in changing your life? Because if you're not investing in yourself, you're always going to be waiting for the day that your life changes. Does that make sense? So you decide what you're worth. You can tell me all day. God already told me I had to be worked on. I'm not going to say healed, but I had to be worked on with my savior complex where, oh, I got to see if the advice that I gave, the seeds that I planted, God just said plant these seeds and keep it moving. You're going to be all right. You don't have to see that. So people will say that they're going to do what they do, and it's up to you to actually do it. I wish you well, though. I want to see you succeed, because when you succeed, you will so, beyond a shadow of a doubt, go to your friends and say, yo, LoneeAppleton on TikTok helped me change my life, and I think she can help you. So please, change your life so you can change my life. Go team! Oh! I absolutely will. Been putting thoughts into action. Amen, my friend. You deserve it. I hate to use this excuse, but my 9 to 5 takes so much of my energy. I need to quit. My God, Jesus, I don't know what your 9 to 5 is, but depending on if I'm a substitute teacher. Let me just tell my truth. As you can see what my gift is, right? I think it's pretty apparent what I do. I'm in this school, and I don't know why God has me in this school. There's a multitude of reasons why God has me with these little kids. And I'm like, every day I'm like, God, I know I learned my lesson. Can I quit, please? They drain the shit out of me. Like, so I get home and I'm like, it's not an excuse. It's not a fucking excuse, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna catch up on the comments, but I want to tell you why it's not an excuse. Because this is one of the things that God is teaching me while I'm working outside of the home. And thank you for the love. That lets people know that I'm out here and we could change some more lives, right? Deliver these messages. I was like, I am exhausted. Like, I'm writing 2 books, a journal, a curriculum, and I'm just producing. This is what I do. I can't turn it off. So I'm gonna write this stuff. I'm gonna talk this stuff. I'm gonna rant this stuff. I'm gonna get it up off me because I can't get it up off me fast enough. And so I'm supposed to be doing all this work because, you know, in order for your dream to come to fruition, you gotta keep living your dream. I get it. You know, so I'm going through the motions because, you know, I'm just like, still hear God. When's it gonna pop off, God? You know, so I'm still pushing myself to just keep going, even though nothing in the physical world is telling me to keep going. And so just going through the motions. And then I hit this week where I work 4 out of 5 days. I tell you, thank God that God knew by Friday I was gonna say fuck these kids and fuck these jobs. So God knew, because I had a Friday job, but it kept falling through. It fell through like 3 times, and I was like, F it, I'm not working on Friday. That was on Wednesday. Thursday, I told them kids, I will never sub for you. And after I left them kids, I said, I will never sub for this grade. Y'all ruined it for the whole grade. I ain't ever coming to the 5th grade. Y'all really? Them kids literally were walking around like having fake, like fabricating conversations just to be like, F you, we doing what we want to do. And I'm just walking back and forth like, please sit down. Please do your schoolwork. Please turn your voices off. Please sit down. Please do, like, this is what your children, not your children, but shoot, your children are in the classroom with these people disrupting, which I feel terrible for. It is terrible. Oh my God, the heartstrings of being in these schools. It just is like, these babies that actually want to learn cannot, because these fuckers are dedicated to destroying. These are, I don't want to call children the D word, but understand that the D words don't care what vessel they occupy. So if we understand that these children, before they can even actually pay attention to the skill that they're being trying to be taught from the redundant ass activity that they have to do, these children are ensuring that your children have to sit and relearn something over and over and over again because they're disrupting the learning environment. If you are getting a notification that tells you that your child is disrupting the learning environment, understand that your child is being a problem. Something that you produce is choosing to be a problem, and you have to question yourself why you're okay with that. Yes, I hear my children doing whatever they know, but that one that you hear hollering and screaming is dramatic as so whatever happened ain't really that serious. We got Angel, the teenager, preteen, who just ain't leaving people alone. So Angel probably done inserted herself in everybody else's business, and that's that part. And Michael is probably just sitting there minding his business, trying to figure out how he can get out of helping clean up. So I understand that. So people are like, your kids are hollering, and I'm like, and I know that language too. Ain't nothing going on. And then the final line of defense is they daddy's right there. Y'all motherfuckers better figure it out, because mama's on live. But it's not an excuse. It's very intentional. It's to drain you of your creativity. That desire to do whatever it is that you say that you want to do to change your life. I don't care if it's something physical world. You said that this is something that I'm going to start doing in order to change my life. And you come home and you're like, next time, next time, next time. And that's the plan. So it's not an excuse. Don't let this world tell you that the fact that you have invested so much energy, you have to understand, if you are investing energy into something that feeds you back, you come home energized. You understand, when we were kids, I'm not sure how old you are, friend, but understand, when we were kids, we would stay up 24, 48 hours and then take our asses to work. Like, don't play yourself into believing that what you feeling ain't real. If you were pouring your energy into something that feeds you, you will come home and continue to feed yourself. Yes, I'm on fire from this. So I come home and I'm on fire from this. But you are so freaking drained from that. You come home and first you need to decompress, which is real. You do need to unplug. You do need to, because you've been plugged into the machine. You have not been plugged into you. You've been plugged into the machine. But energy is energy. Where focus goes, energy flows. Energy is energy. And if you were, competent, you're focused on your job. So you're putting all your energy here. And if you do have problems in your life because you're addicted to running those problems, not for solutions, just to run them over so you got something to think about because you're used to living your life on loop. So now you got the focus going to your mindless ass job that you don't even got to think on no more. I don't care. I don't care. Even the best lawyers know how to run their system masterfully. They don't have to think. Understand that this human world, they may have availability to the entire law library, but trust me, out of all the humanity, we all commit the same crimes. So once the expert lawyer figures out all of those things and can master them, and they're not actually a gifted orator, that is your winners, the gifted orators, that's what they're paying you for. The law, motherfuckers committing the same crimes. That's why this hasn't happened in over 200 years. Because people in this area do this. Like, let's go. Brain dead. Anyway, so you're focusing all your energy over here. And then a portion of your focus on your problems. You should be focused on your solutions. Okay, we know that tonight. But you're focused on your problems. You're just like, but instead of saying, I have this issue with this person. Why do I have this issue? What are the possible reasons why I have this issue? Okay, now that we have that, let's work all of these. So now while you sitting there doing this mindless job that you could do in your sleep, good. Because I want to think about me. I want to think about solving my issues. I don't want to think about this bullshit you trying to occupy me with. Now when I get home, I'm going to push through because I've seen that I could change me. The hardest thing in this world to change is yourself, and we take that for granted. We want to see things in the physical world change. That is the easiest thing to change. I don't know that to be true, but I know it's true, if that makes sense. Because the last thing that I've been able to change are things in this physical world, but you have to understand that's just money. I just have to figure out how to get the money, and then once I get the money, I can change my whole physical reality. So figuring out how to get the money is the energetic world. But it gets crossed with the physical world because you figure out how to get the money in the energetic world because there's a block somewhere. I don't know. If I knew the block, a bitch would be getting money. I'm sorry I cussed, but I would be. But there's some sort of block that you're experiencing in the energetic world that's preventing you from getting money. And so soon as you clear that block, the money in the physical world comes, and then the physical world opens up for you. So the easiest thing to do is to get money. I hope that was my mental block, because baby, I'm tired of being cash apps in the app. I was tired, boss. I was tired. But what I'm saying is, the hardest thing to solve is yourself. So I hope you're still there to know you're worth solving, even if it's tiny. I stopped biting my nails down. Look at sis got hang time. I also noticed, because my nails were always dirty, and I also noticed that the longer your nails get, because when you scratch, I'm a scratcher. It's a habit. It's my tick. But the longer you grow your nails, the less dirty your nails are, because the dirt, it's gross, but that's why I grew my nails. Hey, I hated having dirty nails all the time. I was like, I'm not that freaking dirty, but my nails dirty. And so the longer your nails are, when you do scratch yourself, it accumulates up here. It has more of a distance so my nails are never dirty, and now they're polished. I was like, girlies, y'all keep y'all's nails polished, so who knows what's going on under there. Spooky season. All right, here we go. It does, and I have been sleep early now. Okay, I don't want to mess this up. I'm behind on y'all's comments. That is change. That is change, baby. When I tell you, I hated nails. Like when I first started typing, because I'm supposed to be writing books, but I quit writing books. I was like, I'm just gonna write another book nobody reads. Yeah, I got 2 books out already. They're good too. Now look, I didn't have money for an editor, nor did I gave them to somebody who said they had editing qualities, and they edited both of my books. So don't go in looking for the perfect sentence structure. I write how I talk. One big run-on sentence. But peep this. I also write how I talk. Do you understand? So if you soaking up game from listening to me speak, what kind of game you gonna soak up from reading my writing? I'm just saying. But I told myself, and I was like, why am I gonna write another book nobody's gonna read? And that's old energy I'm trying to get rid of. It's an old memory of the old me. I get it. But that's the energy I've been under this week, because I was just like, I'm pushing, and it's not until God told me I didn't tell you to do none of these things. I didn't tell you to write the book. I didn't tell you to, offer the coaching. I didn't tell you to create the content. God. I can't let God off 100%. I can't let you off. I was about to actually have a conversation. So if I switch into a conversation with God, I'm so serious. Like, I can't let God off 100% because you can't tell me that I misread the room totally. I do believe God told me to write the book. God did not tell me that this book was going to be the book. You know what I'm saying? Everything that God has you out here doing isn't promised to be the thing that's going to take you to where you were trying to go. But you have to stop. You have to take that physical world, that's poverty mindset, scarcity mindset. There's never enough. So there's not enough time for me to develop into the me that needs to be prepared. Do you understand? That's why they are destroying our young children. First, they trick us in not to believe that anything is possible. And then the ones of us that do believe that something is possible, they trick us in believing that you can only get it through this one pathway. And that one pathway is deception. Like, from Word on the Curve, is Satan was, he was over the music industry. Where do you go where you don't hear some sort of melody playing? We have to expand our vision and understand that it's not just direct music. You sitting there, whoever's feet are pitter-pattering on the floor right there. All of these are rhythmic sounds. It all matters, is all I'm going to say. Nothing is for naught. Nothing is for naught. If we think about the production of any scene, nothing is happening in that scene that's not supposed to be happening. So now if we understand that our life is a production, first of all, we can stop allowing life to dictate us. Yes, you can open the door. Yes, dear. First, we can stop allowing life to dictate us. But also, we can understand that we created this life.
What was it?
He said, oh, hold up. What's it say? We are done, Queen Mother. Love, MM2 Master. Thank you, dear.
You're welcome.
Now, is it clean to my expectations or yours?
Yours.
I'm going to take that at face value, okay? And if it's not clean to my expectations, there's going to be consequences, okay?
Okay.
Because I already see I'm sitting in this room and I see things that are happening in this room that aren't up to my expectations. And so do you think my expectations are that you clean out there, but you don't clean in here? And there is a right answer.
Clean in here and out there.
But why would I say I understand why you haven't cleaned in here? Why would I say it's okay that you haven't cleaned in here? Think. Don't give me a surface answer. Think of why I would be okay with you not cleaning in here. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Then why? This is the first time I'm asking you to start thinking at this depth, so I'm gonna let you go. But I'm gonna start challenging you in your answers so that you understand why you give the answers you give, okay? Understand? That's all you, homie.
I'm okay.
I know you're okay. The reason why I am okay with you not cleaning the room is because every time you guys came in here, I said, don't come in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your response is when I say, why isn't it clean in this room? You say,
Cause you said we can't get in the room until you're done recording.
okay, awesome. And now you understand. You understand why this room isn't clean. It's just that because you already know my expectation is everything done in its totality, correct?
Uh-huh.
So don't come in here trying to play me.
What's totality?
In its totality.
Breaking news.
Total. My mom did substitute teaching, and I understand the feeling just through her. Girl, when you could feel who did that, they just drained me.
That is
Okay, Mom
perfect.
also did that for 3 through 5. Go and get some business. Because parents don't want to teach their kids. They literally say, I'm not a teacher.
What?
This is your legacy, friend.
What?
I came across a young man with such a prestigious name. It wasn't Daryl. It wasn't Bob.
Was it like
It was Emperor, but with a K.
Emperor?
Go and get some business, young man. He had Emperor as a name. And he's in the 1st grade and he can't read. I was like, your parents wanted to name you Emperor. But they're not making sure to grow you into an emperor. That's wild to me.
Same.
You named your child Emperor. Now your child is a 1st grader who can't read. Which means you said, I'm not a teacher. There's certain things that you have to teach yourself. The moment you pop something out of your skeet, you are a teacher.
Don't play with your son's name when they can't read.
You're a teacher. And that's just something you have to understand because you are their first teacher. You literally teach them life. My oldest daughter was verbally delayed because I didn't know that I had to talk to her. Judge me if you want to. I did not know that she learned how to speak from modeling me. I was like, well, you don't talk, so I'm not talking to you. So I never talked to her until, and she picked up words because she was in daycare, and her first daycare was a home daycare, and they set her in front of the Flavor of Love every day. So she got some vocabulary. And, you know, she, my cousin, who is a speech pathologist or something like that, she came in town for a holiday and she was playing with a doy, and when a doy walked away, she said she's delayed in her speech. She should know at least X amount of more words than she already knows. I bet you some of you guys didn't even understand that your child is supposed to actually know so many words by so many developmental points. Those of you, I don't know if this is something that they go over in the checkups. I don't remember them saying how many words. Well, they did ask how many words he's speaking, but I didn't make the point in they're checking to see cognitively, are they doing what they're supposed to? So, you know, it's how many words does he know? They do ask that question, but it's not to the degree that I need to be paying attention to. By this milestone, my kid needs to be speaking this. You know, I did not step foot on that campus last year. I don't know, but
Any ice water?
Huh?
Any ice water? Okay.
Gratitude. But I went to parent-teacher conferences. I hijacked one of them. I didn't have an appointment. I was like, can I get 5 minutes? But I went to all of their parent-teacher conferences, which is a big thing for me. I know some of you are like, so what? That's what you're supposed to do. I feel when you got kids, you don't need to go to when you got good kids, you don't need to go to your parent-teacher conferences. You do. It was a different perspective. Parent-teacher conferences are for those students that are acting up because y'all need to develop a game plan. Hey, Michael, have you been sleeping in class? Or have you been working on that?
I've been working on it. One time I almost fell asleep because I was already so sleepy. I had to make myself up.
Okay. So make sure you're continue to working on it as well as going to bed so that you have enough sleep, okay?
Okay.
All right, so I went in there and I was just like, okay, what are you dealing with my son? I took notes. I was like, what are you dealing with my son? And she was like, he likes to walk. Do you still walk around in class? She said you like to get up and walk around. Is this something you're still doing?
Kind of. I'm still working on it.
Okay, so I'll send your teacher a message and I'll say, if you've done your work, are you allowed to you could sweep the floor, right? Maybe you could help her sweep the floor and clean up some different areas. Is that something that you can do?
Yeah, I did community cleanup before.
Okay, so maybe we can do that a little bit more so you have something to do and you have a reason to be out of your room that she understands, or out of your seat. All right, I'll talk to her. So you have to understand, work with your kid, work with the teacher, because this is a partnership. Like, you got my kid for 8 hours a day, I got my kid for 8 hours a day, and then 8 hours their sleep. Like, we got to partner this thing because we're not allowing my legacy to fail simply because my legacy is one of the problems in this room. Approach it like your child is a problem, because if a teacher is not able to just get through the lesson, and I tell my kids this all the time, I can't teach you what happens next because I'm too busy repeating what I taught you. So I tell these students, if I have to keep asking you guys to be respectful, we can't move forward and I can't teach you. And I'm not here to teach you ABC 1, 2, 3. I'm here to teach you life. I'm here to waken you up. So when I heard one of my favorite students that I've made since I've been in these schools, he lost his mind because the same girls who he has a crush on but don't like him and treat him like crap, but he just thinks, I'm dealing with this with one of my other children, he thinks if he just keeps applying the pressure. I'm like, babe, if they ever talk to you, it's just so they could have something to talk about, because what they've been talking about you done ran out. So they're just, save yourself. But my baby lost his mind on Wednesday. And then I was in that class on Thursday. And I thank God I had Friday off. Some parents, and when I see some just want to put their kids into a screen, I was one of those. I'm still one of those, but I teach my kids how to interpret the screen, right? I don't think we can, I'm literally in front of a screen right now, so I don't think that we can necessarily control the screen. I get it. It is what it is. We know what it is. Yeah, we're not exempt either. Our constantly being in front of a screen is also we don't know what's running behind these screens. Like when we're looking at computer screens and we're looking at data at work, whatever it is, if we're staring at a screen, we have no idea what's running behind the screen and is being encoded into our subconscious. So we can all agree, regardless of our ages, if we are spending a substantial amount of time in front of a screen, we're being altered.
I have one thing to say here.
Yeah.
So guys, it's like sometimes when this is for all the kids that want to be like YouTubers. So like when your kids are like recording something on their device and they can't like upload it on YouTube, but they can pretend that they're being a YouTuber and training it hard to become one when they grow up, like when 20 years old or something. Well, my dream is to be a YouTuber too, so I'm watching my mom making a live, and I'm feeding the parts when she's looking at the camera. So that's why I'm watching mom make this live.
So you're studying me. So you understand that nothing is allowed to be taken for granted. Ever again. Whatever amount of time that you spend on this live is for a purpose. Whatever you take in at the time that you're in this space, if you happen across one of my videos, don't feel pressure if you don't listen to the whole video. I'm teaching you how to increase your
life.
Yes, but your attention span, right? I am teaching you because I jump from subject to subject to subject. So yes, you are watching one person, you are listening to the same voice. There's some things that you yourself need to overcome. You're watching the same person. Treat my ass like a podcast. But yes, you're watching the same person. You're hearing the same voice. But you're not hearing a redundant message. You're hearing a brand new message every however many minutes to seconds, because depending on how I switch up. So I am at some point, whatever you're within earshot of. If you get me for 5 seconds, you get me for 5 minutes, you get me for 50 minutes. It doesn't matter. Whatever you're in earshot of is for you. Past, present, future. 333. 369. It's in there. So pay attention to it, because it may not make sense right now, but something will come into your field of awareness within the near future. And I am calling in that you have this experience to prove to you what I'm saying is true. And understand, God, life was never a mystery. We were always told what's going to happen next if we pay attention to what's happening. But we don't pay attention to what's happening because we're told to be distracted by everything but what's in front of us. I'm in front of you and I am far from a distraction. So we can't say it's necessarily the screens, but it's definitely the screens. I sat in Transformers 1s next to my husband and my 2 sons taking notes about what this movie is teaching me. And my husband's probably looking at me like, you ain't even paying attention to the movie because you in your phone. I was like, baby, whatever I'm catching in this movie is feeding my soul so much that this is an amazing movie.
Wait a second. That movie catches my soul, and like I've been like learning what about is like live to like
energy
to keep like, you know, the tripods for like to transform. You know how how they was born and the person took all of them?
Oh, they took their crystals? Are their power sources?
Yeah, the power sources were.
Uh-huh.
And like, so they can be able to transform because he took them.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how like he pretending like he was like good, but he's actually was bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like teaming up with the what's his name?
Mm-hmm. No, no, but the bad guys.
Yeah, the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
And the good guy. So like, you know how at the end when
Megatron.
Yeah, Megatron like was about to shoot the person that lied.
Mm-hmm.
And but Orion wanted to not kill him first before that, so he decided to jump and he got shot instead of the other person.
Mm-hmm.
And not really people, so like the other robot. And so like the way that they was friends, so he actually like.
So what did this teach you? Tell me what this taught you. Don't tell me the storyline. Tell me what it taught you.
It taught me how like things can happen and things won't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
So things will happen and things won't happen. Why will things happen?
Like, you know how like
They only know to think as far as they know to think. You gotta make them think. You can't.
So like.
Have the next generation of lazy
it all
thinkers.
Started like.
And I'm teaching y'all how to hold y'all's attention span.
There's like a lot of things
one subject at a time.
I hear that.
There's a lot of things data. Don't you worry about me talking in the background. I gotta teach the people at the same time you trying to repeat.
There's a lot of things that happen that you want to happen. There's a lot of things that doesn't happen when you that the other person wants to happen sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, you know how like
Can you remove like from your vocabulary?
Mm-hmm.
Just say like a little less. Pay attention to your speaking and say like a little less.
I say like a lot.
You do, but is that something that you think your audience wants to hear? You can say that in your private speech, but when you're presenting in front of people, just pay attention to the frequency that you say like, okay?
So, you know how mom said she wants sometimes having like papers?
What are we talking about?
No, wait a second.
What are we talking about? Are you going on one of your tangents?
Just for example.
I'm going to only let you draw my attention for a couple more minutes if you don't get to a point, because you seem like you're being an energy leech.
The point is, for the example, imagine that I wanted like a whole entire collection of Arizonas, which I have right now. But imagine I wanted a collection of Arizonas, and I want that to happen.
Okay.
But if it didn't happen, that means like it's not the happen side. If it did happen, it's on the happen side.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're on the happen side, then you're lucky. If you're on the not happen side, that's okay, because if you might go to the happen side.
So if you're on the happen side, if you're on the not happen side, that means it didn't happen, or you need to figure out how to make it happen. So doesn't mean anything to me.
So how to make it happen? Like, you know how when
He's talking about manifestation, y'all.
you know how you sometimes be bad and like the half bad, the half good and stuff. You have to like cover the bad stuff to the good stuff. So you want to so that's gonna make it happen if you go to the good stuff. You like get all the good stuff to fill up your bar of goodness. Because if you don't fill up your bar of goodness, then if you do two bad things, the bad side will jump two steps of going on the goodness side. But if you have the whole entire bad side fully, but that's bad, so it's not gonna happen. If you like get the good side full, it's gonna happen. Like, you know how like when things happen a lot, and things might not happen. You know, hey, like, do you know like we had a war in Arizona before?
Sure.
And it's like some of the one parent believe that they want the dad to happen to be alive. But you see how that hair is falling?
Whose hair is falling?
Right here.
Yeah, I see it.
That's going down to that's going down to the not having side. Like, you know how like some birds want to live and
yes, we get your examples,
yes,
friend.
Yes.
We understand. Now, how do we not go into the not happen side? We trying to make everything happen. How do we make sure we keep ourselves filled up with the positive God energy?
To take initiative.
Initiative, boom. Go off, young Padawan. Told you he was my favorite. Boom, period.
That comes my own love.
Is there something that you want?
I was saying that I finished cleaning up.
Is it clean to my standards?
Michael needs to finish sweeping the floor.
Michael, go sweep the floor. And somebody's supposed to mop the floors after they're swept, correct?
He said he was mopping. He said he was doing the floors.
Okay, young Padawan. You don't only have to impress me in the spiritual world. You need to impress me in the physical world. So go do your chores. Sir?
Stop, Angel.
Why are you allowing Angel to distract you from you?
No, I'm not getting distracted, but she's like pretending that she's talking like me, and now she's doing it right now.
And why are we worried about Angel? You were being distracted from the excellence that is you. Why are you worried about her? Why are you worried about her? Who cares what her shortcomings are? Stop playing yourself, wasting your mental space thinking about somebody else. Go and get some business.
Me?
Yes, you.
What did I do?
Exactly. You serve absolutely no purpose, so go and get some business.
That's rude.
What are you doing right now? What are you adding to this space?
Oh, live. That's what I'm doing.
No, you're not adding anything to this space. So I could be honest and say that you're not. You want me to pretend that you are, so you believe just taking up space is value add? Develop that energy and we can talk. Alright. Well, no, whatever. If you guys stopped whatevering me, you would actually learn something. Hey, bring me a drumstick. No, bring me my Oreo ice cream. Adoy bought me my own ice cream.
That was actually me.
I will fight somebody if you ate my Oreo ice cream. Do you understand?
Yeah, I didn't eat none of that. I know that was yours.
Okay, so I just don't want to have a problem with you. I've been enjoying your company today.
Where is my other room?
All right, y'all. I think I spilled tea. I came on here and talking about how it is important to be codependent. We are interdependent beings. We are not independent beings. This independence is a lie. It's a way to get you to pump more money into their system, because if we actually lived together communally, then we wouldn't pay as high rents, you know. We wouldn't pay as much for this, as much as that. Like, I lived all by myself in my 20s, and, you know, I spent all my time. Don't play with me.
What do you say?
Please. I said,
what?
please go get my ice cream. Can I please have my ice cream? I must ask at every step of the way. Can you please hand me the spoon as well? Thank you. With gratitude. Can you please release your hands from the spoon? Gratitude.
What do you say?
Please remove the dog from the room. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. You're the sweetest daughter ever.
Thank you what?
Physical World Awards go to you, friend.
Thank you what? What's my name of it?
On here.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you, dear. I appreciate you. Physical World Award goes to Angel. But these awards be getting passed around like flapjacks, y'all. I'm not loyal. Whoever's doing what I want at the time gets my favorite award. Is this supposed to be this? Because I know I was running my mouth in the car, so it melted. I don't think it's supposed to be this texture. I figure one day, when I'm huge like these celebrities, you're gonna be like, oh my god, and she ate ice cream with us on the live? So I'm like, don't nobody want to watch me eat ice cream? Well, why not? We chilling. I really don't have nothing else to say. Oh, solving addiction. I forgot about that. Identify why you've fallen into addiction. What in your life are you trying to escape? And understand that addiction is not just narcotics, right? And so, you have to identify any addictive behavior, understand why you have it, and then start tackling that. Drill down, drill down, drill down. Hands-on assistance with my coaching services, website and bio. But once we broke it down, and we did it at the last Sister Circle August 3rd, once we broke it down, the negative effects that addiction was causing her, she kicked the habit. Habit and consumption are two different things. There's no problem continuing to consume as long as you don't fall so deep in that escapism that you disappear from your life. Which was always the plan. Hallucinogens was the first ones, right? I know they're not all hallucinogens. But attempting to escape reality has always been the name of the game. How you escape reality, that's the choice. And the choice is made in determining how hard you go if you gotta prove how hard you go, you usually jump into harder substances. If you ain't gotta prove to nobody how hard you go, and it's maybe a curiosity or some are introduced to socialization everybody else is doing. I know that's how I was introduced. You know, if it's, let me see. You won't go so hard because you ain't got nothing to prove. You just enjoy the feeling. Addicts have something to prove to self, to others, mostly to others, because when you have something to prove to yourself, then you go within. When you have to prove something to others, you go without. And so if you choose abuse, substance abuse, narcotic abuse, working out too much, gaming, whatever is creating an imbalance in your life, which I discuss in my book, What's the Best That Can Happen, available LoneeLifestyle.com or Amazon, link in bio. Anything that causes an imbalance in your life is an addiction. So if we expand that vision, hey friend, if we expand that vision, then we'll understand that we manifest addiction in so many ways in our life. I'm addicted to sugar. I was telling the boy that the reason why, and this is all theory based off of TV. I ain't never been around no elites. But the reason why elites disdain sugar, like when you watch these TVs, oh no, I stay away from carbs. And you think, yeah, we just have to make sure we're not doing something to the degree that it jeopardizes other aspects of our life. All addiction isn't bad until it comes to a point where it's jeopardizing your life, aspects of our life, not the whole thing. Some of us wait until it jeopardizes the whole thing before we wake up. But if we know it's affecting certain aspects, we can kind of pull back in those areas because we want complete balance in our lives. But if you look at how the elites on TV respond to sugar, they act like it's a drug. Because they know that sugar is the true industry. The sugar industry, baby, I bet you if you go and see with them sugar, Phil, Kane, I don't know, them motherfuckers, I think they might have something on the oil companies. I'm just saying, sugar's in everything. Even things that you wouldn't know sugar's in, sugar's in. That's gonna be a bad joke. I don't think I could tell that one in 2024. It was gonna be a funny one though, but you ain't gonna catch my ass. But sugar's in everything, and that's why they don't really mess with it, because it's a poverty drug. How much money do we pour into sugar? We will spend our last on sugar. We will bypass a meal that fuels our body for sugar. Like, this the controlled substance. I want to be off it so bad, y'all. I do. Because I know it's a drug. But anyway, yeah. I write about addiction in my book, What's the Best That Can Happen. You just want to make sure you move in balance, right? You deserve balance. You deserve 100% of everything. I know I do. And I'm not going to stop trying for it.
Mom, can I have my vanilla fudge?
She settles not at all.
Huh?
Alright, these kids want their ice cream, and so I gotta go check to make sure they cleaned the house properly. See, I'll be blessed. I've enjoyed our time.